when I was literally a platinum blonde, y'all. It was a look, it was a vibe, it was a movement, but my hair was shedding and breaking all the time. My hair will be down to my back if I never bleached and dyed my hair the way that I did. With bleach and dye, your hair is always gonna need TLC. At the end of the day, do you, boo, do whatever you want to do.
I want all three. Ooh, Ashley, hey, ooh, Ashley, hey.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Shay back with another video. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley. As you can see by the title of this video, I'm going to be telling y'all the truth about bleaching or dyeing your locks. Take it from me, I have personal experience. This is my third set of locks and we will get into why I'm on my third set of locks in a second. If this is your first time seeing my face, my name is Ashley and I do post lock content. I post on this channel as often as I can. If any of that interests you, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below to join the family, and without further ado, let's hop on into the video. So first, I want to kind of get into my lock journeys a little bit. So I started my first set of locks in 2020. I did comb coils. My natural hair was probably about right here, very much long, full, and thick. It was good. It was cool. I would say like before my first year hit, I dyed my hair red. Still cool, still thick, still vibrant, still full. After that, I kind of went a little crazy. I used color remover. I used bleach. I tried so many different hair colors, bleached my hair an astronomical amount of times, and my hair was thin, it was brittle, it was snapping off, it was shedding, it was breaking. All the things you would expect were happening with my locks. It was a hot mess. I cut those locks off, had a very short TWA haircut. Very cute, very demure, very mindful. Never again though, because I like having like some hair on my head to like be able to shake it and be able to like have some hair to do things with. So that was something that I don't ever want to go through again. Like I said, thought it was cute. It's just not for me. Fast forward, I started my locks on a TWA haircut maybe like 4 months after I cut it all off, and I started with comb coils again. I had a little bit of like bleach on the very tips of my hair because of how I cut my hair, but for the most part it was my natural hair. It was healthy, it was all the good things. About a year in, I added lock extensions, and then 2 weeks after adding the lock extensions, I decided to use box dye to lift my hair to like a honey blonde so I could do a ginger. Yeah, my hair was actually okay at that point, but it was significantly like thinner. It was like not as thick. It was still pretty thick and full, but like when I look back on pictures of my hair when it was just black, it wasn't as thick and full. That makes me really sad and upset, but it's just the realities of bleaching your hair. So also the lock extensions started to slip out. They started to just be defiant and not like me. They were always slipping out. I was always re-putting them in my hair. It was a hot mess. And then about 6 months later, I went to get my roots bleached by one of my friends who's a hairstylist. So she bleached my roots. She did a little color correction on some of my locks as well. And then we went ginger again. It was the perfect color. It was so cute, but my hair was so thin. It was brittle. It wasn't as bad as my first set of locks, but you saw the damage. I felt the damage. My hair was shedding. It was breaking. It was doing all the things that I just do not want my hair to do. Now that y'all know my history with bleach and dye, let's hop on in to some important things you want to know before bleaching and dyeing your hair if you do choose to do so. So the first thing you need to know is that your locks will become thinner. I don't care how good you take care of your hair. I don't care how long you wait in between each bleaching session. Your hair will become thinner in some way. Your hair still might be thick. It still might be full, but it's not going to be as thick as it was before you added chemicals to your hair. Locks will become thinner. They will become weaker, susceptible to breaking off, to becoming thin in certain spots because of the bleach damage. So just know that like bleach is really nothing to play with when it comes to your locks. So just be very careful if you are going to be introducing it. Also, if you are going to touch up your roots or touch up your color, try to wait at least 4 to 6 months before doing anything to your hair again with chemical processes, especially bleach, because bleach damages your hair so badly. I'm not saying that you can't bleach your locks or dye your locks. Just be very like wary of how it does cause damage and how you will have to do like a lot more maintenance to keep your hair like safe and healthy and thick and full. But over time, your hair will become a little bit thinner than it normally would be. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be dyeing your hair or bleaching it. The second thing you need to know if you're going to bleach or dye your locks is that your hair is going to be prone to breakage. I noticed that the first time around when I was like bleaching my hair, when I was literally a platinum blonde, y'all, it was a look, it was a vibe, it was a movement, but my hair was shedding and breaking all the time. It was so annoying. I would get in my car, I have black seats in my car, so I would get in the car, every time I would get up, there's little blonde pieces pieces of hair everywhere. When I would film videos, I would see hair like flying around. Like when I was doing hairstyles, it was a hot mess. It wasn't cute. It was just like, where's my hair going? My hair is falling off. It's breaking off. Like it's gone with the wind now. Like it's no longer attached to my head and I'm not here for it. But yeah, that was something that I really did not like when it came to the bleach. It just makes your hair so thin and weak and brittle and just so prone to breakage that to me it's just not worth it because of what I've gone through. And I'm like, girl, my hair will be down to my back if I never bleached and dyed my hair the way that I did. Just learn from my mistakes if you are going to. Just be careful because y'all, I did not have a good experience with the bleach and the dye, so I just wanted to let y'all know that. Luckily, none of my locks ever snapped off or broke off except this one lock in the back. There was one that was like super thin and brittle, and I could tell that it had like a really bad weak spot. So one day I just sat there and I like pulled at it and eventually it broke off. It definitely broke off and I was like, wow. But like I feel like if I never had pulled it, it would have never came off. But the fact that my hair was like that brittle and damaged that I could just pull it apart and it snapped. And that was my natural hair, y'all. That was no lock extensions, no nothing, just the bleach, just the dye. That was a humbling experience, just seeing how thin and weak my hair became, because I just have naturally thick, healthy hair because I had never really touched my hair. All I did was take care of it and do protective styles and oil it and wash it and condition it. So like before starting locks, I had very healthy hair. I did dye my hair a few times with some box dye and never put actual like bleach on it, even though sometimes the box dye may contain like bleach or ammonia or lifting agents. Also with loose natural hair, it doesn't damage your hair as much as it does with locks, I will say. So you really have to be careful when you have locks because I think the damage is a lot worse when you have locks versus loose natural hair. The third thing that you need to know is that your locks are going to be dry all the time. And when I say dry, I mean you're going to have to deep condition, you're going to have to spray your hair down every day, which is something you should be doing anyway if you have locks, to use moisturizing conditioners. You're going to have to use moisturizing shampoos, deep treatments, hot oil treatments, which are all things that you can do when your locks become more mature, but it's like you can do those things if you want to. You can do those things when your hair needs a little TLC. With bleach and dye, your hair is always going to need TLC. Your hair is always going to need conditioner. It's always going to need deep conditioner. It's always going to need some hydration every single day because you are prone to hair breaking off, to hair falling off, to hair just shedding and doing that thing that you don't want it to do. So you have to really be diligent about your moisturizing routine because once you bleach and dye them locks, baby, you strip all that moisture, all that keratin, all that good stuff that's in your hair. So you really have to be smart and intentional about your moisturizing routine. And that is just not something I wanted to go through. I was deep conditioning my hair every single wash day. I was conditioning my hair every single wash day, which is fine, especially even if you don't have damage to your locks. Once you get down the line and your locks are more mature, it's okay to start incorporating moisture, but you will have to work overtime if your hair is bleached or dyed because it is like chemically altered. Your hair is in a different state. It's very much prone to breakage. It's very much prone to damage. It probably is already damaged and breaking. So you do have to be really diligent and really intentional when it comes to moisturizing your hair. So if you don't want to put in the extra work of taking care of bleached and dyed hair, it may not be the right move for you. But if you're prepared to do that, go right ahead. Like the fourth thing you need to know is kind of piggybacking off the third one, but having bleached and dyed locks is going to be a lot more maintenance and it's going to be a lot more expensive, especially if you're going to get this professionally done. Getting your hair bleached and dyed and touched up and recolored and all those things is very expensive. Stylists do charge a lot of money to do that to your hair, and rightfully so, because that is something that you need to be a professional for. But that maintenance, y'all, like it's going to be more products, more money, more time. It's a lot that goes into it. So you really have to be prepared if you are going to bleach and dye your hair because it's going to be significantly more maintenance than it would be if you were to just have your natural hair with no bleach or dye. So just know that it's going to be a lot more work and a lot more expensive. And the fifth and final thing you need to know about bleaching or dyeing your locks is that people are going to have opinions. And people are going to have opinions about literally anything and everything. But I will say, being a content creator and putting myself on the internet, which does welcome a ton of opinions from other people, people are going to be concerned for you, like, girl, like, slow down the bleach and dye. Like, you know, I wish I would have listened to some of y'all. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I'm not gonna hold you. People will have their opinions. They're going to be concerned for you. They're going to tell you to slow down with the bleach and dye. They're going to tell you, girl, don't damage your hair. Don't do this. Don't do that. Like, people are going to tell you what to do with your hair. People are going to be concerned for you, rightfully so, in certain situations if you're doing too much like I was. But it's just going to be an influx of opinions. And if you don't want people all in your business or all in your hair, you may not want to do it. But at the end of the day, don't do something based on what other people are going to do or based on how other people are going to react, because people are going to have their own opinions regardless. But just know, if you bleaching and dyeing your locks, they're going to be very vocal about it, okay? Especially in my circumstance. But also, I'm gonna throw a little bonus in there too. Your hair is going to get so many compliments. If you have any social medias, people just eat it up. They love to see bleached and dyed in different locks. You will get a lot of attraction, a lot of engagement, a lot of those things. People love to see it. People love to dye and bleach their hair. It's just something that we do. We have those chemicals to change our hair color, to change our appearance. So people are always going to be doing those things. So it is going to gain a lot of attention, positive and negative. So just be prepared for both, depending on what you want to do and what you can handle in your life. But if you don't care about other people's opinions or having to do extra work, you know, moisturizing your hair, taking extra care of your hair, then hey, go ahead and do it. Try to do it in the safest way possible to not like damage your hair. There are ways that you can bleach and dye your hair to minimize the damage. And there are techniques that you can do to just, you know, keep your hair as healthy as possible when you are bleaching and dyeing it. Maybe going to a professional, maybe waiting 4 to 6 months in between each session, maybe doing it maybe twice a year, 1 to twice a year. Like, you know what, waiting that recommended time or even longer. And just also just adding so much hydration into your hair just to keep your hair from breaking off and being brittle and dry. If you're willing to do all of that, then I say go ahead and do it. But if you are that type of person who doesn't want that maintenance, who doesn't even want to think about your hair breaking off or doing any of that, then maybe it's not for you. And I know that it's not for me anymore, as being someone that has gone through the struggle. I just want to let y'all know before you make any decisions, at the end of the day, do you, boo, do whatever you want to do. Just know that all the things I've said in this video is what happened to me, and it happened to a lot of other people. We all have very like similar universal experiences. Take that into consideration, whatever decisions you do decide to make. All right, y'all, you have made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. Since you have made it here, go ahead and comment down below this emoji. You are a real one for making it all the way here. Also, since you have made it here, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below to join the family, and without further ado, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Never gave you my number.